Hello, Gemini. I hope you are doing well. This is going to be a general spread for the month of November. Take what resonates, leave the rest as it goes, use discernment. And if you want a personal reading with your specific questions, I don't do general. I feel like that's too broad. It's helpful. These are helpful for general specific questions. And if you want a reading from me, I'll leave my information in the link below. All right, let's start off with some angel cards. They kind of let me know the weather of the reading. So we'll start with some of these and then we'll get into tarot. All right, what are the messages for the sign of Gemini for the month of November? What would be most helpful for them to see, hear, and know at this moment in their lives? Prayer. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask, we are listening. Inspiration. A new idea comes to you like a gentle whisper inside your heart. Listen and take action. This is inspiration from high above. And we have positive outcome. Wow, beautiful. The sun is about to burst through the clouds and you will soon see things in a different light. Something that previously seemed hopeless will soon be filled with nothing but hope. And healing angel. At this very moment, you are being bathed in gold, pink, and deep green light. Accept this healing where your angels surround you with wings of love. You're eternally free, eternally fresh, and eternally abundant. Yeah, beautiful cards. The bottom of the deck, creative potential. You are by nature infinitely creative. Life is a sea of creative potential just waiting to be expressed through you. You are free to express all your heart desires. Yeah, you know, it's weird. When I'm looking at these cards and kind of like the way they came out sequentially, you know, I'm seeing prayer, inspiration, positive outcome, and like healing. So a lot of work, positive result, and then a time for rest. And I actually kind of felt this in Taurus's reading as well. So if you're, I'm a Taurus Gemini cusper, so this is definitely resonating with me. It feels like there's something being developed, and it's through kind of, I feel like a lot of personal work. So if you're having a hard time, I feel like emotionally, especially Scorpio season, it can catch a lot of us off guard. Some of us that don't have a lot of water in our charts, we can feel like it might not even be specifically emotional, excuse me, but it feels like it can be like feeling a little bit off balance, and I'm feeling that prayer helping center you. So really setting those intentions, or really kind of just being grateful, you know, surrounding yourself with that energy of gratitude helps you kind of stay in the center. Because I feel like when I'm looking at these cards and looking for inspiration and positive outcome, it feels very creative, obviously. That's your outcome. But do it from this center, which to me, as I'm describing this is the center, is the heart, right? This is what we are all aspiring to kind of go through, this tunnel that we've been going through the last few years. And it's that tunnel from what I would call, and what most people are calling, the third dimension to the fifth dimension, but really it's just this, it's like, to me, it's just the dimension of the heart. So we're going to experience things in a different way, and it's kind of like setting the stage. So this is a very powerful month, I feel like, for manifesting. You know, Scorpio season is typically you know, is representative of the Tower and of death. So actually, let me use a different deck. So there's a lot of falling away, a lot of endings and new beginnings. And it's also just a time, I feel like, of surrender. If you've been pushing something very hard, ask for help. It can be from spirit, it can be from God, it can be from Jesus, it can be from anything that you want to call in. In my opinion, it all exists. Okay, let's look. I want to look specifically at love, so we'll do singles, and we'll interpret it for couples. Typically, actually, I'm not going to go there. Then I'm going to do a work work spread. Let's see what's going on in your work and creative life. All right. What are the messages for Gemini in love, please? What are the messages for Gemini in love? Messages for the sign of Gemini, please, in love. Seven of Cups, decisions. I mean, this to me, again, is setting your intention. What do you want to experience? This is kind of like, you know, what's most important to you. I would again invite you into that heart center and kind of, to me, energy really speaks. So the things that are three-dimensional, yes, they matter, but let's leave those and give them a little bit less importance. So I feel like there's a core, fundamental aspect of relationships that we are calling in. I mean, this is specifically for singles. Are they reliable? Are they dependable? Do they have a good heart? Do they say what they mean? Are they, you know, all of these beautiful things that make somebody beautiful? Because it takes a lot of hard work to get to that place, to that center, where you're authentic, where you are in your integrity. That's admirable. Yeah, the Emperor, beautiful. So this is Aries. This is also Scorpio. That's crossing you. The Emperor is somebody very wise, somebody that, this is typically somebody in a position of leadership. But it feels to me when I'm saying that even, it's like an enlightened position of leadership. So somebody that does something, it's almost like for a cause. So whether it is, I mean, it might totally be unrelated, but this is an example, you know, somebody that is really good at something, and it could have nothing to do with any like charitable aspect, but they do it for a certain purpose to benefit others, like maybe their family, or maybe, you know, a specific cause that they believe in, or they could actually do some sort of humanitarian work. This is somebody high up. Either owns their own business or high up in their corporation. Three of Wands, the Fool. You've asked for a new beginning. It's coming here. The King of Cups, somebody with an emotional, ooh, beautiful Queen of Pentacles. I like this person's energy. I like their, yeah. Again, I keep feeling this is somebody that by nature is giving. I feel like I'm reading for two people that have been alone for quite some time, that have done a lot of inner reflection, and that is, it's almost like at the point where it's like, do I even want to let somebody in? I really love the space that I've created for myself alone. It's kind of like that saying, don't speak unless it improves upon the silence. So when you become really, you know, comfortable with yourself, you really get to this place where you're like, does this improve? I've gotten to this place where I'm in a good flow. I get to bed early. I cook what I like. You know, is this person, what are they bringing in? Because I've got it going on. I feel like two people looking at it from that perspective, though. This person feels like they have it together. This person feels very stable. They're showing up in this kind of like introspective, elevated vibration. Lots of kings, emperor, queen, hermit. This is, again, that spiritually enlightened. They're on their path. They're on their journey. This is somebody, again, that I feel like takes responsibility. So that they probably believe in some sort of idea of like karma. What you put out is what you get back. And I see kind of like a do-gooder. This is actually really nice. Yeah, the moon in the position of your power. This is kind of like being willing to take a risk. Put yourself out there. Because I'm seeing somebody coming in a way that's actually feels like it's actually quite slow. It feels like a comfortable pace. This isn't somebody just jumping in with 2 feet. This is somebody that genuinely, it's like almost like friends first. I want to get to know you. I want to build upon something. 2 people wanting to begin something new. I feel like 2 people getting really clear about what they want. 2 people learning to navigate together separately at first. That's what it feels like. I feel like there's going to be a bit big attraction to this person as well. In the position of what you need to know, I mean, that's the Ace of Wands. Big attraction. Five of Wands at the bottom of the deck. That's like internal conflict. It's fighting against yourself. So, I mean, to me, when I'm talking about being in a relationship and being single versus being single, and we're having the Five of Wands there. Ooh, and what's slipping over as I'm saying this, the Two of Cups. It's like, I don't know if you've been single for a long time. It's like, am I truly ready to be in a relationship? Am I truly, do I even remember how? Do I know how to open my heart? What is this like? It's like riding a bicycle. That's what I'm hearing. It's funny. I come to Mexico every few months to do some training in boxing, and we were doing sparring the other day. It hasn't been like, what, 4 months since I've done it before. I was like, how do I do this again? And he's like, my coach looked at me like, come on, get in the ring. Just do it. That's kind of what I'm feeling here with the moon. It's just like lean into this feeling, and it kind of just, it's natural. That's what I'm seeing here. This is like somebody that you've known before. That Six of Cups is very comfortable. Don't overthink it, right? If my analogy, my poor analogy says anything. Two of Cups is beautiful. Yeah, a Page of Cups. It starts off slow. It's just like flirting. So if you're wondering how something goes or if something's actually unfolding, give it a little bit of time. I actually even feel like into the winter months is when something opens up a little bit more. Yeah, the Star. So the Hermit, obviously this is Virgo, but I'm feeling when I'm looking at this card, winter. For me, I'm from the Northern Hemisphere. That's starting now. And going into the Star, this is the time where something's going to open up that you have been manifesting, that you have been praying for a long time. And it's showing me it's the Two of Cups here. Yeah, and I feel like you don't see it quite yet. Don't kind of get discouraged. There is a commitment coming in here. Can you see these? Yeah, you can see these, sorry. The Hierophant here with the Nine of Wands. I mean, this is just feeling temporarily trapped. And I think that happens naturally a lot in relationships, especially at the beginning when you don't really know. You're just kind of figuring out how to navigate one another. Like, how do they feel? Is it the appropriate time? You know, there's a lot of things that kind of are bubbling up to the surface, even within that in a really happy way, even if it's like a really exciting thing. A lot of anxieties kind of come up. And again, just because as I'm saying this, my eyes are immediately drawn to this card of prayer, ask your guides and angels for, again, helping you stay in that center of truth. And as you stay in that heart space, and as you commit to keeping that heart space open and gentle and soft and sweet, I mean, this is truly where the hardest work is. I don't care what anybody says, to keep an open heart, this is true, like, mastery. It's the hardest thing. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to project that it's hard, but you know, there's a lot of unlearning that happens with it from the past. There's an opportunity though coming in here, and I feel like you're going to be considering it. I feel like you take it. It might not be this month because the outcome here is the Hermit, but I feel like there's something here contemplating, something here that you are like getting ready to open up to. It's like it's just starting. So it might be like, where's this headed? Are we friends? Are we not friends? That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Well, this is Two of Cups. Yeah, Four of Wands. Wow, beautiful. There's something here evolving into a partnership. Feels slow. Feels like, you know, exchanging text messages. They might not even be flirty. It might just be like, how you doing? You're like, well, what does this mean? Don't overthink it. Stay in the center. Gosh, this feels so nice. All right. Bottom of the deck, yeah. There's something here where It's like light and nice. It's kind of like, you know, little butterflies, like a teenager getting excited about something. I like it for you. All right, let's look into couples. So Geminis that are in a couple and are looking for just some advice, some navigation. Geminis that are in a couple that have somebody that they're asking about, helping them navigate the star. Again, same card, similar energy again, the Hierophant. Wow, same cards. You saw me shuffle. The Emperor. Okay, there's one new one. Look at the same cards. When I'm looking at these, I'm seeing like a lot of work and a little bit of stress, but it's towards a goal. So either you or your partnership can have, either you or your partner can be focused on work. I feel like kind of achieving some sort of dream, though. It feels like it's very, it feels like, again, it'll benefit both of you. So if you're feeling like a little bit neglected, whether it's you neglecting your partner or them neglecting you a little bit, because I'm feeling like a little bit of a burden. It's kind of like feeling a little bit stuck maybe in some certain aspect. Maybe it's like the love or the romance, because I'm seeing an emphasis on the work. I'm seeing it here. And ultimately I feel like this is something you agree upon, like, yes, we want to, you know, grow this, emphasize this, expand this, but at the same time trying to keep everything balanced. It feels like there's a need for a little bit of extra attention in one area, and it feels like it's calling me to say to you, get creative, and get out of the mind. If you're feeling a little bit like, I'm feeling like I'm seeing, you know that story Princess and the Pea, where she's like on a million mattresses and there's just like one pea in between one of the mattresses and it's driving her nuts. It feels like pulling this out, this little kind of thorn in your side, by being creative and thinking of new ways to kind of keep the playfulness alive. And again, I feel like getting out of the mind and kind of getting out of your own way mentally, because I feel like if you keep like reiterating and focusing on what's annoying, I feel like you're not doing yourself any favors. It's showing me kind of like a weaving and figuring out a creative way to see things from a different perspective, but kind of more so to shift your perspective and look at things temporarily in a different way, because I do feel like this is going to pass. But I do feel like this is a necessary period of, it feels like new beginnings, like working towards something. And it feels like if you're feeling neglected or they're feeling neglected by you, let them know that you're doing it for them and kind of carve out a little bit of extra time. This is about, especially because I'm seeing that King of Cups here, it's Scorpio season, so people can be a little bit more emotional. I'm not particularly like, I wouldn't say not particularly emotional, but it's usually very rational. Like if I'm emotional, it's for a reason. And I've found myself the last few days like feeling a little bit off kilter out of nowhere. I'm like, where the heck is this coming from? So just be extra gentle. The moon, to me, I'm saying that because I'm seeing this moon. It's like there's this shadowy aspect of it, that there's stuff being released that we might not even be aware of it being released. And it's kind of, again, that feeling off kilter out of nowhere, and it might not just be making sense. So just be gentle. That's what I'm feeling here, especially with this watery energy up here, kind of crowning your reading. This looks good, though. I mean, the center of the reading is the star. It's moving towards a goal. It's something that has been dreamed of, is manifesting into the 3D. I feel like for a lot of you, it can be vice versa, or you taking care of somebody wanting to really take care of you, or you take care of them. And it's kind of getting to this point, and it creates a lot of harmony. It feels like maybe a little bit more down the line, like a few months later, I'm feeling like spring, where things really pay off. Right now, it just feels like how do I navigate through this to get where we want to go? So just keep that in mind. It feels very temporary. But yeah, sorry, I meant to mention the Hierophant. With this here in the position of what you need to know, what your higher self wants to let you know, it's like a strong foundation. So you guys can work through whatever this is. All right, let's look into work for Gemini. Oops. Yeah, well, what's wanted to fly over was the Ace of Wands. Let's see if it comes out again. What's the energy for Gemini? Let me shuffle these a little bit better. Tell me about work, please, for Gemini. King of Cups. Before I pull any other cards, when I'm seeing this immediately, I feel like kind of going to, it's like depths of my soul and kind of figuring out where my truth is. So if there's some things that you want to reorganize or restructure or even change within work, you know, that Uranus and Taurus energy is hitting us all, where there's meant to be a lot of changes within this area for the next few years. I'm just feeling this. I mean, to me, I'm looking at this water energy and it feels like diving deep. And just kind of exploring what your truth is and what you want to experience for. I feel like the next chapter of life, the Ace of Swords, is kind of an aha moment. Yeah, Ace of Cups, what would be this feeling of abundance? Yeah, because there's yeah, okay, sorry. I'm working myself up. My words can't even come out fast enough. Oh, sorry, that was funny. It's so interesting when you're reading. Sometimes you just start channeling and it comes through in a way. Even sometimes the words and like even the way sometimes I'll pronounce things phonetically aren't me. I just find it funny. Okay, let's center myself. So I'm looking at the Ten of Wands and the Nine of Swords. To me, within this creation, this new beginning, that feels like it's this deep searching. There's this aha moment, and essentially what your higher self, your subconscious wants to let me know is what we're moving towards is a period of abundance, and it's just starting. So Scorpio season again is about releasing, letting go, a lot of layers coming off, which is so much fun. So much fun. But here it is. I mean, it's showing up. I feel like it's just confirmation. So when you see it happening and you're feeling a little bit stuck and trapped, you can just kind of take it for what it is. It's helping you dive a little bit deeper. This does pass though, so don't get too wrapped up in the frustration, I feel. Because it's really, with the King and Queen of Cups here, it's really forcing you, the heavy emphasis on what do you truly, truly want. Are you willing to go after it? King of Swords, Page of Swords. So I'm seeing this, it's like preparing you to know exactly what you want to move forward in. It feels like a little bit of stagnancy, honestly, if I'm being, you know, incredibly forthright. It feels like it hasn't quite, this wheel hasn't quite shifted yet for me when I'm looking at these cards, because even the bottom of the deck is still a decision-making type of energy with the Seven of Cups, which came out in love as well. So it's no wonder when I'm looking at these that the two energies are connected, because it's all your energy, really. So it's imploring you, and I'm seeing the outcome being the High Priestess. The High Priestess is able to channel, you know, divine information because she is extremely balanced. Her energy is of a high vibration. She has learned how to not bypass but harmonize that, equalize that, the mind, so it doesn't block that receptive space right up here where she's able to receive, if that makes sense. transcending duality, seeing not the bad for being bad, seeing it being as a way to love more parts of yourself. So inevitably, within work, I feel like there's something here kind of under the water formulating and bubbling up here, where it's kind of like this aha moment, and it might come in like a divinely inspired spark or moment. So when I'm seeing stuff like this, I'm feeling the need to mention meditation. And meditation can come in many forms. I absolutely recommend, doing meditations, just in like the heart center, so you know how that feels, so you can feel when you're out of alignment with it. But I also feel like, even going out for a walk, ironing clothes, anything can be done, any kind of repetitive motion with intention, if you set that intention. And when you're kind of in this space, things can kind of flow through you. Because I'm seeing like an idea wanting to come through you. And I'm even seeing this creative potential and inspiration and prayer card. They're really speaking to me in this particular subject of work. So a lot of you could be creating your own businesses, even side businesses, even just, what would I actually like to do? I have like 8 things that I like to do. You don't have to have one grand idea. Sometimes people like me, I like to have a lot of things going on. Sometimes one thing gets, I get a little bit bored. So I make, maracas. Some of you don't know, I work in shamanism. So yeah, I like to make like musical tools. So yeah, there's lots of different things that you can, and it's talking about though following your heart. So it's something that deeply kind of calls to you, pulls to you. And if you don't know what that is, take a class. I mean, if you're coming to a reading like this, under the umbrella of spirituality, there's infinite things that you can learn. And that's the fun part. It's about yourself. The more you understand about yourself, that I feel like that's how that's your way to kind of understanding not just you, but like different realms, different world. It opens the door to so much as you kind of become at peace with yourself. And that's where you can, going back to your love reading, you can just lean into things that scare you. After a while, they don't become scary. It's just like, oh, I understand the hero's journey, which is kind of the blueprint to the soul's evolution, right? The story of the tarot. And so I know when I'm at that point where I'm at the, 10 of Wands or 10 of Swords, that things shift. I'm at the end. It doesn't scare me. When I'm at that Fool energy and I have to take a leap of faith, I just do it. I don't have to double think. I just follow my heart. It's training you to do that. It's training you to find the center. There's something though here that you're going to need to walk away from. So if something's feeling a little bit off, it feels like either you walk away from it or you kind of retune it. So if something in your work life, maybe you have your own business, if something isn't working, I feel like, changing the things to make it more streamlined, or throw certain parts of it out that you no longer enjoy doing, and kind of recreating yourself. Within work, if something isn't working, either finding a new line of work, or within the company, new position, because there's something here that's feeling a little bit stuck to me and needs to change. So this is saying, inviting you to take a leap of faith. Something brand new wants to come in, and it might not manifest essentially this month. I feel like it's again, same with work. Same with love. It feels like it's just on that cusp. So whatever, intention that you put in this month, I feel like, end of this year, even beginning into spring, I feel like big changes. This feels big because we're getting to the depths of the soul here, aligning with true purpose. And I mean, when I'm looking at the High Priestess, in all honesty, there's a level of spirituality connected into this for a lot of you. And it can be in not the most obvious ways. Sometimes just living our best life and being an example, you don't have to share it all over the internet. Just by being around people like that, it really lifts me. I feel good. I'm like, yeah, good for you. I love meeting people that are, just happy. Just happy. It's hard to be happy now. There's a lot going on that would say otherwise. Beautiful, beautiful reading. Let me clear these cards. I want to get, let's see, I'm going to pull an oracle card. Let's pull from this deck, the Work Your Light oracle cards. Let's get one for Gemini, please. One additional message for Gemini, please. Oh. Where are you being called to journey to? Imara. Imrama, sorry. I guess two fell out here. Get grounded. Yeah, connect with nature. Highly sensitive. Yeah, especially this month. Get grounded. Find that center, that meditation card. I feel more drawn to read this one, so I'm going to read it, but I'll leave both out here so you can look at them. Okay. Let's see. I don't know if anybody else has this deck. It drives me bonkers. It's not alphabetical. It's so hard to find these meanings in this book. All right. Okay, here we go. The Celtic word Imrama means a journey of the soul, a voyage on which we don't know where we are going, but our soul knows the way. If you pull this card, you're either being called on a soul journey or are already on one. It could be a physical, ancient place or metaphoric. When we journey to places that our soul remembers, a shift takes place, both within us and to the planet as well. You're being called to journey to a place that is sacred to your soul. Perhaps it's a journey to the world, one of the world's sacred sites, or called to cross the country, climb a mountain, lie on the desert floor, or drink from an ancient well. There are places to see and old friends to meet. I see spontaneous pilgrimages in your future. If a physical voyage isn't possible, journey through the portal of your heart. Follow the invisible soul trail and be willing to explore. Maybe read a book or watch a movie about a sacred time or place. Perhaps you're being called to study an ancient lineage or body of work. Whatever your circumstances, your soul is ready to journey deep. Hold this card on your heart and say, may seeds of light long ago planted begin to rise. I'm ready to remember ancient secrets from lands that my soul knows from times past. May I be held by the ancient lineages that my soul has served and remember that I don't have to do it all alone. Beautiful. It's interesting. I mean, I also, because I love shamanism, I love to do kind of shamanic voyages. There's lots of them on YouTube, lots of like spirit animals. So I find it interesting to see what comes up for me. The last voyage I did, there was an elephant and it was like a jaguar that came through at the same time. I was only expecting one. I only called in one. They both came together. And the elephant, their message was interesting. It was clearly very powerful, but they were very, very playful. And it was a personal message for me, and also along with the cat, similar energy. Anyways, I invite you to kind of open those doors for that assistance. Again, with that prayer can come in many different forms. As long as you're open to them, I see different, kind of cosmologies of belief as, it's like different programs to get to the same destination. So whatever feels right to you, go with it or explore others. There's lots to be found. So I hope these readings were helpful, but if you want a personal reading, I'd be happy to do them. Remember, I don't do general. This is the general. If you have specific questions, let me know. Tarot is best with yes, no answers. You know, you can expand upon the energy there. So, yep, I'm going to leave it here. I'll be back soon with more readings. I'm in Mexico for 6 full months, so I have a desk. I'm so excited I'll be able to do more readings. So, definitely subscribe if you're not already, and I'll be back soon with more. All right. Thanks, Gemini.